So now let's begin with warm up. Straight in, take your feet slightly wide and then hit with you either go down with some squat. So if you have never done squat before, keep your weight in your heels. Keep your chest proud and don't let your knees drop up. So lift up onto the toes. So warming up is so essential before you work out, because you want to make sure your joint is lubricated and your muscles are warm. We are warming the quads, activating the hamstring. We are stretching the core and by extending the hips, so let's do it in 16 counts. Second, let's do the lunge and knee warm up. Step back, go into a lunge, lift the knee, and then switch. So now, we are getting those hips flexor working. So let's do it in 16 counts.
It's all mine, it's all mine. I gotta live by this, I can't trust what these women do. You should've never trusted you. You had me touching on your body, telling me you belong.
Third is leg swing. Pick up the heel. Now, we are gonna get those hamstring warm. Just find the balance. If you have to, you can touch down after a rib, flick it up, flick the heel, get the hamstring nice and warm. Do it in 8 counts.
Like that, so weak when you
Lastly, a jumping jack. Get the highway up a little bit more shoulders. Now up into the toes. We're gonna get those cups warm as well as those tilt. So let's do it in 16 counts.
should've played that woman more mind.
First is the happy cat and sad cat. This exercise is gentle but very effective at helping to mobilize the spine. First, let's kneel on all fours with hands shoulder width apart. With a flat back, breathing slowly, round your back, upwards and lower your head. Hold for a few seconds or just 3 seconds. Then, lower your back down, pushing your bum upwards and lift your head up. Do it in 8 counts and 2 repetitions.
Holding on till you know, holding on till you know, holding on till you know, holding on till she's done, she's all mine. And now you know that you don't treat her right, that you don't fuck her right. Ooh, you're gonna lose her, now you know.
Wonder.
Counting stars, 밤하늘에 pour. Better than you, Louis Vuitton, you Louis Vuitton. Counting stars, 밤하늘에 pour. Better than you, Louis Vuitton, you Louis Vuitton.
Third one is the glute bridge. To do this, you need to lay flat on the floor. With your knees up, lift your toes so that only the heel of your foot is in contact with the ground, and then raise your body off the ground. Keeping your shoulders flat to the floor, keep your arms on the floor parallel to your body to help balance and squeeze your buttocks together. Hold at the top for a moment or 2, then lower yourself slowly back down. Do it in 16 times.
Louis Vuitton, you Louis Vuitton. Yeah. 살바도 달리에나 피카소 별들은 내 작품을 전시 밀라노에 낫 일반성이 나 피만토 했던 시절을 생각하면 눈물이 핑 도는 my grandfather 요양병원 가시던 날여 대성 통곡하며 인사 코로나 바이러스면에 못 간대 fuck covid 이제 할아버지 몸값 비싸 좋은 약 좋은 날 좋은 삶 좋은 것만 다 한데 뭐 아이들을 하지 교회에서 혼자 서울대는 아니어도 곧 잘 살아 이 새파란 너무 걱정 마 이제 당신의 자식까지 사장 만들어 이게 나의 각오 yeah counting stars 밤하늘에 pour better than you Louis Vuitton you Louis Vuitton counting stars 밤하늘에 pour better than you Louis Vuitton you Louis Vuitton
Letter to my stepfather 기억나나요 내가 갔을 때 축하한다면 주신 100만원으로 난 시작했어요 내 세상을. 나건 상가 가서 야마하 스피커로 14만원짜리 마이크 사고, 그때 우리 가족 잠실 살던 때, 그때만 해도 내가 아저씨라고 아빠를 불렀던 때. But you really damn I'm real for the now. 지금 눈물 참 늘어 비운댔어 난. 얼마 전 친구 아버지 사진 앞에서 그 상실감을 조금 체험했어 난. 오늘 내 별이 몇 개 떴는진 모르지만 one thing that I know, 아버지의 편지가 더 많았지 강원도의 별들보다도. I'm counting stars, 밤하늘의 pearl, better than your Louis Vuitton.
Fourth is the quadruped thoracic. Rotation for spine mobility. First step is to get on your hands and knees. Second, while keeping the knees in place, no movement, bring the butt back slightly toward your heels to lock the low back in place. Third, lift one hand off the ground and reach it behind your head. You will then rotate that entire side of the body as if to look up at the ceiling. Move back and forth 10 times and then switch sides.
Back to back, back to back, ayy. Back to back, racks to racks, ayy. Back to back, back to back, come on. Back to back, counting that, ayy.
It's like a Polaroid love, 사랑 촌스러운 그 감정. 근데 내 가슴이 뛰어 왜 날 이래 난.
왜 사랑에 목매는 건지 어차피 뻔한 감정이잖아. 분명 다 안 믿었지. 알고도 빠진 함정인가 봐. 나도 모르게 When you call my name 가슴 아프게.
Downward dog to runner's lunge. To do the downward dog to runner's lunge, sit up in a plank position with your feet about hip width apart and your hands under your shoulders. Then press your butt toward the ceiling as you drive your chest back and heels down toward the ground. Really, drive back through your entire hand and keep your arms straight. Then come back into a plank position. Stay out little longer. And as you do, step one foot forward and outside the same hand. You will come forward into a runner's lunge. Keep the back leg straight as you try to step your foot all the way outside your hand. Then, step the foot back and pose back into downward dog before performing a runner's lunge. On the other side, make sure to step your foot side by side. Do it 8 times each side.
내 뜻대로 되지 않아. 흔한 필터조차 없어. But I love the vibe. 너 향한 내 맘을 여기 보정 없이 새기는 거야. 점점 또렷해져가지. 이 맘은 세상 단 한 장뿐이야. 나도 모르게 When you call my name 가슴 아프게 내 심장이 쿵쿵. It's like a Polaroid love, 사랑 촌스러운 그 감정. 근데 내 가슴이 뛰어 왜 나 이래 나. It's like a.
Let's get into our first cool down exercise, the boxer shuffle, to help keep our heart rate up while we cool down. So get those feet moving back and forth to stay up on the ball of your foot. Nice and an easy jog back and forth. Next is the torso twist. So standing straight up and down, rotating the shoulders left to right against feet, just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Try to really get a good rotation on shoulders without rotating those hips too much. Cooling down after your workout allows you for a gradual recovery of pre-exercise heart rate and blood pressure. Cooling down may be most important for competitive endurance athletes such as marathoners because it helps you regulate blood flow.